afternoon, ladies and gentlemen,
Good
and
afternoon.
thank you for being here. It's a Sunday afternoon, and I know that you could be doing other things, but you chose to be here with me. So thank you so much for coming. I will start by asking this gentleman on my right to introduce himself.
Good afternoon all, my name is Bernard Black. I am interested in learning about business and what are the environmental factors that I need to be aware of.
Okay, thank you so much. We will go on to this gentleman on my right, on my left.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jarl Hendricks, and I'm interested in logistics, and I plan to pursue a career in that or entrepreneurship.
All right. Oh, thank you and welcome. Yes?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Monica Insurance. I aspire to be a corporate lawyer, which is the business aspect of law, so I hope to take away something
From him.
this session.
Thank you so much and welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lauren Black. I aspire to be an entrepreneur, hopefully in the area of logistics as well as my friend here in Terrell. And so I hope that both of us will take something from this session.
Thank you so much for coming. Okay, this afternoon we are going to be looking at identifying your customers and competition. You are all interested in business, so you are aware that it's very important in business to look at your customers, who is buying from you, and your competition, who else is doing what you're doing. Very important thing to do. In business, when we talk about customers, we always think directly of sales. Because if you are getting involved in business, you want to ensure that your product or whatever it is you're selling, if it's a service like the corporate lawyer, you want to know who you were doing this for. And that is a very important consideration. If you do not meet the expectations of your customers, you would be going one way and they would be going another way. So it's very important to know who it is that you are selling to, particularly what is the problem that these persons are having and how can you solve those problems, right? Because let me just give you a quick scenario. You get up in the morning and you have cereal. So that morning, when you slept the night, did you ever think of the supermarket around the corner? You dreamt of him, you thought of him. Now when you go to have that cereal, you put your cereal in and you miss, and you go to take the milk and you pour, and there's a little bit left. Who do you think of? Exactly. The supermarket knows your problem. He knows that you one day will not have milk. So he stocks his shelves and he's waiting for you. So that is how he has identified not only his customers, but what problem his customer is having and how could he show up to solve that problem. Further on, when he's thinking of that product or that business that he's setting up, he wants to know also who's doing something similar to him, right? It's very important to know that. Who's doing something similar and what are they charging? How are they showing up? What value are they creating for those very same customers that he is targeting? More than likely, you will find that your competition is offering a similar product. But the most important thing for you to think about is the gap. Where is the gap in value? So that customer, that competition might be offering the same thing as you, but there might be something else that he or she is not doing. Let's look at the instance of the milk. Maybe the competition is not making, single size packets of milk. And that morning, you don't have much money in the house, a little bit of milk left, you don't want to go and buy a whole big carton. All you want is a small, a small fix. So you go there. If he has a big carton of milk, you won't get any milk. But if he has one that suits you, that's the gap between him and his competition. Maybe his competition just stocks the big ones, like a Massey, for example. Right around here, a guy who's selling here would probably sell a smaller tin of milk. So it's very important for you to understand where the gap is. I want to give you a bit of an illustration. And the illustration is actually based on...
No, to the other side.
one here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I want to give you an illustration based on a young lady called Lily. So the illustration is about Lily. Lily is a young woman who works for a clothing store. She basically looks around her, speaks to her friend, and her friend tells her that she has a 12-year-old and she cannot find clothes for the child. So straight away, Lily, who's a designer, started thinking about setting designing clothing for 12-year-olds. She goes to the local shop and she asks the local guy there who runs the shop. She's asking him, you know, do you buy clothes? Do you sell clothes for children? And he says no. And she says, well, I can do this. I can actually design. She shows him her designs and she asks him, what kind of price would you pay for that? So he says a particular price. So Lily goes home. She doesn't quit her job just yet, and she literally starts to design clothes in the evening time and to sell for this shop. She also finds out who else is doing a similar business, so she's checking on her competition, right? Another thing that she does is to find out who in the village where she lives is also who also has children who want to buy what she's offering. So it's very important for us, when we are thinking of our customers and the competition, to think of particularly what it is that competition is doing and what our customers' needs are. So eventually, when Lily started making money, because she's selling and people are actually buying from the shop where she sells her designs, she actually decided that she was going to get proper machinery and start on her own, right? So a test is also an important thing. So she didn't leave her job, but she tested the market, right? It's a very important thing for you to do when you're starting off in business, to test your market to see what your customers are saying as well as what your competition is saying. So just before we end, I would like to find out from you, do you have a business idea? What exactly are you thinking about? Have you been thinking about who your customers are? Anybody?
Well, I mean, I don't have a solid business idea, but I've always wanted to impact women in some sort of way through my business.
Right.
So, that's really what I want to do. So whatever I do decide to do as my career, I want it to have a direct benefit to women.
To women. Okay, so what kind of questions, anyone here who's listening to Lauren, what kinds of questions you think that Lauren can probably ask herself about her customers?
For instance, needs or
The needs of the women, or what do women want? What are the problems they have, right? Anything else that you're thinking?
I'm thinking about affordability, of what they can afford to pay.
To pay, yes.
Are they buying goods that are vital to sustainability?
Right.
In terms of the choice of spending.
That's good. That is very true. Lauren, have you thought of your competition? Who's doing what you're doing?
Well,
Or you thinking to do?
Living in the 21st century, we especially as of recently, a lot of people are targeting women because they realize that they're the minority in many sectors. So there are many people doing things that women do. So I fully intend on assessing my competition.
Okay.
And finding somewhere I can add value and finding my gap.
Okay, finding the gap. Wow, thank you. You've used exactly the same word, so that tells me that you've been listening. Okay, so in thinking about your competition, for any product or any business that you want to get into, what are some of the things you think that you could be looking into? What questions can you ask yourself about the competition? If you're thinking of a business, what are some of the things you think?
Their packaging.
Their packaging.
Or the packaging products.
Yes.
how they're adding value.
Right, how they added value. And I want to come back to Malachi because I hope that when there's a learning for you as a corporate lawyer, packaging is not only for products, it's also for services. So let us say you are a corporate lawyer, are you thinking of packaging, for example, small business packages? You have a medium and large size business packages that you can offer your corporate services to. So a lot of the time when we talk about products, when we talk about packaging, we think of products, but sometimes it's actually services as well. Well, not sometimes, with services you can do that as well. So I want you to also be thinking long term about some of the things that you can do as a corporate lawyer, right? Anything else that you would be asking yourself? Oh, you spoke about value. What value? A question is
what are they doing
that you are not doing exactly. Very important question for the for you to consider observing the competition. Another thing that we tend not to do is to sometimes visit the competition. Right? You intend to go into a business. You know that this person, this company might be your competitor. You need to visit it. You know, you go to buy a product, you buy one or two products, and actually observe the whole atmosphere, the service, and how it is that that they are delivering that service. So that's how you will be able to check on the value that they're offering. You understand? Okay. Any questions for me? Anything you didn't understand?
What advice would you give for developing a product from its state that you supplying as well as your competitor? For example, I manage an avocado farm.
Right.
Everyone said that avocados are fresh fruit. But what can you do about avocado that's different to what someone else?
To add value. Okay, great. That's a great question. As an avocado farmer, I oftentimes think and observe that people sell you right. They sell the avocado just as an avocado. Adding value to it, you could look at avocado shampoo, avocado tours, which is a service added to the product. You can also offer something such as an avocado festival, where everything is avocado. You could also add value to the avocado, like creating an avocado-based product, which is edible. So like a guacamole, find ways to keep the avocado fresh. It might be that we want to be looking at cooling houses and cooling and reefer type containers. These are all things that you could do just by one avocado. So it's very important to look at your value as compared to your other avocado farmers and see what gap you have. In the avocado business, I think you have a wide gap, a very wide gap. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so I would like to thank you so much for coming. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us. Follow Cerulean Inc. on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are here based in Guyana. Our passion is to help small businesses to become successful. So we are here to facilitate and to assist you at any time. And because you came to this session, you probably will get a free session from me anytime you want. Okay.